Alright, second take, because I accidentally deleted the start. This is all one night worth of dreams. It's quite a bit. You'll notice a lot of times I'm just gonna say some random shit, like a story doesn't even end, and I'm just gonna change up the story. That's just how dreams are, alright? There's not much I can do about it. I could, like, stop and say it every time when it switches up, but, you know, it's a dream. It kind of doesn't feel like you should do that. Because, you know, in the dream, it's like, I kind of feel the same way, like just shit's happening. This dream's not even named. It's not even named Dreams. It's just named Sleep. That's very odd of me. The first line, though, is called Agent of Nothing, so I'm just going to name it that. It was my understanding coming into being that I was supposed to keep the world at the lowest level possible. So like asleep. I appeared from the darkness with one other individual in school desks. I moved through a strange space. I thought of the responsible thing to do, and I manifested a pill. I swallowed half, giving the other half to the stranger in front of me to kill us. However, after taking the pill, the room exploded in detail, looking almost real. I was tripping like on mushrooms and was sure to tell my classmates as I wanted their help to conceal it, so I didn't get in trouble. At some point, I was drinking sparkling water. It was by far the least satisfying sparkling water I've ever drank. The water would fizz up, get frothy, and then just evaporate before I could even swallow it, which sucked because I was extremely thirsty. I was killing a bunch of guys from some organization with another guy. We made our way to one room that had this unkillable guy. I loaded like 2 mags into his unprotected face and gave up. The next room was super dense and the cover was super tight. The initial guy, the unkillable guy, who was slowly following us, lit me up from behind and I died. Back at the starting room, you had to start over. I looked like Kino der Toten, even had a quick revive. I had a pick as a melee weapon and chose a different kind. It was, I said it was like balloon tower defense operator. I had 8 stashed up. I don't know what that means at all. I don't remember this part. I was making my way back up to the room from before with where I died. But when I was crossing this other room, I noticed it had a bunch of fruits, like on a table. I had been here earlier and I ate it all. I see that it regrew from nothing. I wanted to test out this new pick to see if it was any better. There was this silver flat top mushroom growing in the room with rust type light gleams to hit for a special spark. I ain't gonna lie, no clue what that means. After mining it down, very, very rusty like, I said, to hell with war. I want to eat something. And I dug into the table of fruits. The fruits were very strange and I had previously eaten them all. They were slowly growing back at a non-visible pace. My favorite ones were these blue pepper-looking things that were fairly small compared to the rest of the fruit. And because of this, they were the only ones that had regrown. I picked up one and thought about methodically cutting it so I don't get any of the skin, but then I said fuck it, and I broke it into 2 and I ate each half like an apple. There was this one lady at the counter in there. She was blonde. I want to say she looked like either the mom from Shameless or Chucky's mom, also from Shameless. I asked her if she liked the fruit and told her it was my favorite. She agreed. I was about to leave when I realized I could summon demons with the table. Most of the demons were very human. The first one in fact looked like a real version of Kaido from One Piece. Somehow I got 3 guys, 2 of them were just Kaido. They sat on the table as I walked away. I expected them to follow, but they didn't. I broke my sight with one and peeked back in, curious to why none of them were following. The one I broke sightline with disappeared. I was slightly relieved actually because I didn't know if I could handle 3 or even 2. I decided to disappear another. I walked around the edge and broke sightline again, but this time it just changed its appearance to a different demon. I kept changing his appearance, curious to how he might look, but I did it one too many times and he disappeared. Damn. Well, I kinda wanna see the other skins this man has. I once again juggled back and forth on the final demon. Lots of twisted, unique looking individuals with different themes. Dutch as bio-horror, I don't know if that's right, or a fisherman choked out in a tangled mess of fish line, or the one that caught my eye the most, a blue man with a thick fuzzy jacket. I recognized the man. He was my first demon companion from ages ago. I thought of using him due to this fondness. However, I think I felt the need to let him go. As I started to leave, Matthew rushed in, freaking me out. I looked back and saw a green demon with 2 walking sticks was following him. I closed the door behind us and assured him the demons weren't gonna follow us. I had no reason for this belief, and Marge, I called Matthew Marge here. I had no reason for this belief, and Matthew, understandably, remained unconvinced. I walked home with Matthew, which was just through a couple hallways. Once there, the fam was making dinner. It was a joint effort, and I had joined in. The kitchen was disgusting to an unrealistic extent. The dishes were pretty bad, but the star of the show was the old food that was just everywhere, in the drawers, on the counter, on the ground, in the cabinets. I realized as Nico was trying to kill me that he was possessed by a demon. This wasn't a regular evil demon though. He was pretty smart. He was holding Nico's weirdly old body, probably around 8 years old, hostage, and trying to sneakily kill me when I was least expecting it. While making the noodles, I realized the identity of the demon based off the bald spot that formed on Nico's head. I rubbed it as I threatened to douse him in boiling oil, as that scar was from me doing that exact same thing to him in the past. The demon, not my nephew. This is why he wanted to kill me. I picked him up by his hands and got in his face, making threats of physical pain and exorcism. I guess that was his weakness, although he didn't seem to buy my bluff. Devin was very casually asking why I was making such heinous threats to her child. I told her the truth. She believed me instantly and invited the demon to dinner. Everyone goes to the dining room while I'm left in the kitchen. At some point I had eaten noodles, but not really, just holding them in my mouth. No longer wishing to swallow, I spit the noodles in the sink. I don't wash them down. I opened the silverware drawer and there's only a serrated butter knife left along with ramen noodle and random tomato squares. I become a disembodied narrator, and this really funny little narrator segment takes place where I, in a narrator voice, say some goofy shit like, "And then Aiden did the dishes. See, Dad? No worries. Everyone gets a fork." I think I was in the mobile home. I was sitting on the love seat, which was against the front door wall, all the way to the corner. There were 3 Nikos on the couch, all playing with each other. I grabbed all 3 babies and hugged them tight, and picked them up and swung them around, yelling, "Babies!" Some woman in the kitchen, I don't think it was Devin, said to be careful. I put the kids down, and the Nico in the blue shirt slowly fell to the ground. He just laid there until he heard metal playing in the other room. He stood up and said, "I hear cool music." I said as all the Nikos ran off, "That's not very cool. It's metal." I don't like metal. There was this sweet fat girl at my house. I was pretty sure she was some girl I knew from high school, but she looked nothing like her, so I don't know why I thought this. For future reference, I have no idea who Fiona is. I was in some small house with a bunch of people that were like family. One of the siblings got really high and put up a bunch of culty type imagery, including stained glass. Fiona, which I don't know who I meant by that, maybe Adventure Time or Shrek, like I don't think I know a Fiona in real life, was one of the people there, and she said she thinks she deciphered the image. The image said the girl did lots of drugs and was destined to throw up. Fiona yelled to the girl who's locked in a room, asking if she was going to throw up, and as she yelled it, the girl started throwing up. The fam all got on the couch, like 5 people, kind of holding each other, concerned for the crackhead in the other room. I had bought a very large vape coil for cheap from some weird illegal feeling grandma shop. Later on, I was cleaning it out. I was cleaning out a large amount of like grassy dust off a small hole and felt loose metal. The thing was broken, damn. I literally only had it for a single day. I set out to go get a replacement coil. I entered some apartment that I think was the place, the illegal feeling grandma shop. I must have been too loud yelling for the old lady or something, because some girl came out knocking on the door. I opened the door and began to leave, but the girl stopped me and she started complaining to me. She entered the doorway, which was raised a few inches off the ground, and leaned out to me. She looked very tall on the ledge, and I just had to see what she looked like on equal ground. I went back into the house. "Wow, you're so tall," I say to her. She smiles. "Stand with me here," I say to her. She stands in front of me, and she is shorter than me by maybe 3 or 4 inches. Although I do want to say that she looked taller while hanging out of the door. Not even just like because of the step, but her actual height. No way she was shorter than me then. The doorway was only like 3 or 4 inches, 2 to 4 inches off the ground. I said some cringe shit like, "Girl, you're exquisite." And it somehow actually worked. She was biting her lip and I could just tell she was ravenous as me. I stepped towards her and she was backing up. We must have stepped like 8 to 6 steps, nearing a pool table, which was the only thing there to possibly fuck on. I stopped and said, "No, sorry, I must remain faithful to my missus." She seemed understanding and somehow even more turned on. Oh my gosh. We talked a bit and she left. After waking up, I thought about it and was like, Bro, what? I didn't even have a wife. Why did I think I had a wife? I basically chill in the apartment for a bit till the old lady gets there. She's yelling at me, calling me a freeloader and shit. She basically demands that I dust off her TV and the table it's on. I agree, and she is actually surprised. I tell her it will cost her though. I was going to ask for a replacement for the less than $2 coil in return, but she got so mad and started yelling Spanish at me for so long that I woke up. I was in some classroom and had stolen a bunch of Chromebooks. The school I was in was trash and everyone was a criminal. They bring in an officer to look through bags and half the class just dipped. I didn't think I had drugs on me, so I stayed, but then remembered the computers. I asked someone at my table if it was too late to just leave, and they stayed silent for some reason. The teacher, who I think was Miss Weems, she was giving the class a lesson about the cop being there. She basically dangled a little fear in front of us and then said, "Fuck." Fuck the police. And all the students just got up and left. The cop was just like, "Why did you do that?" While leaving, I meet up with Tegan. She was the one who told me to steal some. Gabriel was going to jailbreak it and sell it and give me a cut. I went up to some room where Gabriel liked to meet. While on the way, I run into Dylan Bowles and Henry Cheek, who also had a single Chromebook between them. I asked if they were up to the Chromebook scandal. Okay. I asked if they were up to the Chromebook scandal, and they said yeah. I flexed my 4 Chromebooks on them, and they were like, "Bro, that's a bit much. Gonna take a lot to jailbreak all those Chromebooks." I sat in the room and kids started filing in like crazy. There were seats all along the wall and they were all filled up. Gabriel hadn't shown up yet and I knew I was gonna be waiting a while. I spoke to some guy I thought was Kevin. He didn't actually quite act like Kevin though, more depressed and slow talking. I noticed another Kevin talking a few seats over and stood up. I backed up and asked if he was Kevin. He said yes. I looked over to the other Kevin and asked if he was not Kevin. He responded with, "Surprise, I'm not Kevin." I was so bewildered about the 2 Kevins sitting before me. This is not the dream I meant to write. This is not the dream I meant to read off right now. I don't even know how I found this. What? Oh wait, it was. This was all one. This was a huge one.